I skipped last week. Um, Kind of in part because don't. I kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to make a short one. I'm going to make a short one," and I kept saying in the video, "I'm going to make a short one. I'm going to make a short one," and it ended up being the longest one I've ever made at 10 minutes, and I ran out of time to record another. So I'm not going to say how long this is going to be. I'm just going to go ahead and do it because it's Tuesday. So we missed last week. I hope you had a happy Tuesday anyway. And this week, well, in America here, we went ahead and we celebrated something called Memorial Day. Memorial Day is when we remember and we pay respects to those we've lost in war. And it's generally a day of celebrating their sacrifice and, being mindful of the fact that we are here in part due to other people's sacrifices. That kind of rings really true with everything that we've been going through with COVID, with quarantine, and worldwide. It's scary stuff. And as a kid, I always looked to the heroes to keep away the scary stuff. Heroes vary for different kids, depending on their circumstances. They can be the person found in a comic book. They can be mom or dad. They can be, big brother, big sister. Throughout this crisis, we've got a lot of heroes. We've got heroes that are on the front lines. We've got the heroes that are in the hospitals, working tirelessly to help contain things. We've got heroes working in laboratories trying to find a vaccine. We've got heroes on our all of our first responders who are out there doing their jobs and making sure that we're safe. We've got heroes in ourselves that are doing what we can to make sure that nothing happens to our family and we don't spread this thing further. And then we've got heroes that are really, really having a time where I would absolutely not want their job at all. The politicians that go against the groove. The governors that are like, no, we're not going to bend to pressure. We've got to contain the virus. It's almost parental, if you think about it. Not that I would ever want my governor necessarily be my parent, but they're looking out for our welfare. It's what they have to do. And whether we like it or not, whether we want to be opening all our businesses and spending time with each other like nothing happened, we have to acknowledge one thing that's really, really important. Something did happen. So we can either take it in stride, which is a lot easier to say than do. I'm getting kind of stir crazy myself. Or we can go against it and try to work our way around it, which doesn't always work out for the best and can cause more problems. I can't tell anybody what to do. I know that I'm going to try to do everything I can to stay as far away from this thing as possible. And it hurts. It hurts not to be with my students. It hurts not to be able to be with my family other than a Zoom call or a nightly phone call. Or, text messages and sending pictures back and forth. It hurts not to be able to teach face to face on all the different things that I get to do. But there's a lot of things that are coming out of it that are a lot of fun, that are much different. I have so much more time to do art. I don't ever get to do art. And I'm thinking on a totally new level as a teacher on how can I do this? I'm a creative person, so I'm taking advantage of the fact that I have to be super creative to make this work. It's not easy to teach theater online. My colleagues will tell you that. But I'm surrounded by astounding people who are doing amazing stuff. And we're all trying to help each other. Usually, people feel insular when they're a teacher and you're just in a classroom alone. There's so many people throwing so much online that's just, I can't keep up with how many wonderful things are out there. So You know, it's not all rainbows. It's a lot more rain than rainbows. But when it's peeking out, the rainbows are pretty cool. So one of the things that I did is I revamped how I was going to teach things. There's some things I don't get to teach because I run out of time. And so I teach technical theater, and one of the things that I run out of time to teach all the time is sewing. I never get time to do that. Now, my mom was a seamstress, so I used to help her read patterns, and I know my way around a sewing machine, and I know my way around a needle and thread. Thank you, Boy Scouts, for having me sew on my patches. And what I did was I looked up puppets. How does one make a puppet? And so I assigned to my sophomore technical students to either make a puppet or something with sewing, or to go ahead and I do a lot of makeup design. I usually get time to teach that. But there are others that are really good at it, that are far better at it. Some things, than I am, particularly the people that make the makeup, and they have great tutorials. So I also assign them to look at those and maybe make some really interesting makeup designs. The goal is we're going to kind of try to flip it around. I really want them to learn how to go ahead and turn themselves into something else, turn something dull into something bright, and do like children's book reading, which is a assignment that, like I said before, my colleagues are coming up with all this great stuff. Well, one of my colleagues came up with something really, really amazing down in Pennsylvania, and I was like, nope. And with her permission, we're borrowing it, we're using that. But we're gonna put our own spin on it. So what I did was I made my friend Patches. Yes. He's not very creative with names. See? Patches. And showing lots of sewing mistakes. Check out the nose. So anyway, Patches here is my buddy, and Patches really helped out trying to figure out how to teach the kids how to sew. So Patches, thank you very much for being unique and new and something that was fun that came out of something that's really not so fun. My pleasure. Anytime. Bye for now. Happy Tuesday!